La Marzocco have just launched a new Linea Mini and they've sent me one out to unbox and have a play around with. Now I will state that I didn't pay for this, but I am excited to share it with you and show all the new features. This won't be as much of a review as it is just kind of first thoughts and going through all the new features and updates. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to look at is the design of the new Linea Mini. We'll notice here that they've got this new slight edge which is inspired by the Linea Classic S, and you'll see it across the whole family like in the Micra and the Pico. This is called the Della Pietra curve and it's named after La Marzocco's head designer Stefano Della Pietra. Sorry if I screwed up the pronunciation, I did my best. So you just place your portafilter in, put the scale underneath, tear it off. Then you'll see that you have your desired yield on the left here, what the actual yield is, and then you also have your shot timer up the top. So you can see the yield is creeping up here and getting bigger, and then the machine will turn it off with just enough time to kind of hit that desired yield that we're looking for. There you go. Now, one thing to note is that I don't think that the scale comes with the machine, but from what I've heard, it might change region to region. There might be packages or it might be included. So you'll have to wait and see what La Marzocco says. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Now, one thing you may have noticed with the new machine is these two new black features on both the portafilter and the steam one tip down here. Now, this is a high grade polymer that they're using that doesn't take on any smells, odors, and is completely food safe. So the reason they're using it on the portafilter here is because A, it can click off and you can switch from spouted to naked just with a click. They also talk about how it helps with heat retention inside the portafilter, so it's not the whole thing. My favorite thing from using it for a few days here is that when you want to clean it, you can just pop it off, get all the water out and pop it back in. You know when you have other portafilters and after you've rinsed it, it just continues to drip water over and over? This is a really nice way to kind of get rid of that. And then we go over to the steam wand with the new polymer tip here on the end. This is really great because it doesn't get too hot and scald the milk. Also, because it's this polymer, the milk doesn't stick to it, so it's super easy to clean. And I can hear all the purists yelling and wanting the metal one. They're gonna put one in the box as well. Don't worry about it, but from my use of it, this polymer one is actually way easier to use and way better. So I'm a fan of it, but it won't be for everybody. And also to note, the steam wand has cool touch, so you can turn it on, you can move it around. You don't burn yourself from holding the steam wand. That's pretty cool. And this cool touch also reminds me, I mean, it's not a feature for everyone, but I think it's pretty cool. The boiler is also more insulated, which retains the heat, but it also means that the whole machine is cooler to touch. It's not too hot and you're not gonna burn yourself just from the side of the machine. So that's pretty cool as well. And the next big thing that the Linea Mini has added is a dual solenoid. What that's gonna do is break up your extraction into 3 stages. You're gonna have your pre-wet, where it hits it at the start, wets the puck, kind of lets the coffee grounds expand. Then it's gonna stop the pressure and just let it sit for a minute. But the important thing is in that stage where it turns off, it's gonna keep your basket pressurized, which is really important for the extraction. Then you're gonna be hit with that 9 bars of pressure again, and you're gonna get a full extraction, and it's actually gonna lead to less channeling and a better shot. So you'll hear it here when we turn it on. That's the pre-wet. Off, and then back on with the 9 bars of pressure again. Also, you can get this La Marzocco plumbed in and have a proper kind of pre-infusion there. So that's kind of going to hit with a 3 to 4 bar pre-infusion, and then it'll continue with those 9 bars. On this one, we're going to look at pump pressure. Now, all the coffee nerds are going to love this one. With the old Mini, you used to have to kind of take it apart, get a really long screwdriver, get it in if you wanted to change the pump pressure, which was really annoying. Now, there's just a little screw up here on the top. You got this tiny little screwdriver instead of a big long one, and you just put it in that, and you go left for less pressure and right for more pressure. So if you want to play around with some different pressures and that kind of thing, super easy to adjust. Really nice feature there. And while we're talking about adjusting pressure, on the app you can also adjust the steam wand pressure. So there are 3 levels that you can have it set on. You can have it on 1, 2, or 3, with 3 being the most amount of pressure and 1 being the least. That's great if you're a beginner, you can just kind of turn it down. And if you're more of a pro, you can turn that steam pressure up. I just have it smack bang in the middle. And the last feature that we're going to look at, it's really simple, but really good. It's called the rinse mode. You just turn the paddle on and off, and it's just going to give your machine like a 3 to 4 second wash there. You can change the time in the app. It can be anywhere between like 1 and 5 seconds, so that you're ready for your next shot and you're always going to pull a good coffee. In summary, I think this machine is great. If you already have a Mini, I don't think you need to upgrade. The old Minis still have that connectivity to the Bluetooth scale, so you've got those new features if you need. And the Mini, obviously a beautiful piece of machinery that works really well, but I really do like some of these updated features. I really like the soft saturation. I think that's great. And the fact that you can adjust your brew pressure just on the top here. Also, It's just beautiful. It feels really nice. And then if you're a home user and you're kind of tossing up between this and the Micra, I'd say this machine is probably better suited to like a small business, small hospitality. It can make a lot of shots consistently and it's a real workhorse. The Micra, on the other hand, smaller footprint, great for a home, heats up really quickly. If you're just making 3 to 4 coffees a day, the Micra is probably the way to go there. So that's the new Marzocco Linea Mini. It's a great machine, looks beautiful. Let me know if you have any questions and I'm happy to answer. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more great content. And as always, coffee up.